Here we have an electronic track in Ableton, and it's a very simple track, but it's just a doodle, just a little bit of a doodle. Let's get an idea of what it sounds like. We'll hear the A tune. And the B tune. And that's about all it is, really, just made an arrangement of. So let's see where we start with this. I started with a synthesizer patch, and here we have it. Let's just find, there are the notes. And here's the synth. It's the UHE ACE, Any Cable Anywhere. It's a demo version, I seem to remember, so we may hear some crackles as we go along. But never mind, let's hear what this sounds like by itself. Not bad. It's just one of the presets. I just chose it because I happened to like it at the time. So, what else have we got? We've got this one here, which is another UHE synth. And once again, I just chose a preset and I didn't even get very far with it. Okay, it's a demo version again, so there might be some crackles coming along. But let's hear what this one sounds like by itself. As you can hear, it's syncing to the tempo of 90 beats per minute. And let's hear both of those together. That's the foundation of the track. Okay, not bad. The next one that I added to it was an audio loop. I think it's probably one of the Vengeance loops. Yeah, that is edited, so that's not the loop as it was, but I edited the bits out of it that I liked. Well, I edited out the bits that I didn't like and kept the bits that I did like, and then just rearranged it so that it came in on the quarter note beats. That in itself doesn't sound like much, really. It would be hard to choose that as the starting point for a track, but if we listen to it with the other components, it just adds that extra little bit of percussive interest there. If we listen to it again, a little click in the middle of it, that kind of adds a little bit of reality somehow, a bit like a vinyl click maybe. I could have edited that out, but I don't want things to be too clean. I like things to be clean, but not too clean. I can see we've got a little bit of EQ on here, so when I was making it, clearly there was something that I didn't like there. So let's hear it with and without the EQ, just by itself. Ah, I can see exactly what I didn't like there. So there was just too much bass in it. I didn't want it for the bass content. But also there's something around here that I wasn't liking. So let's just take that out. Yeah, that's something else I didn't like. Let's hear it in the context of the other two tracks, which is all I had to start off with. And let's just play around with this EQ and just see what the difference is. There's just way too much bass with that filter not in. And it's just got a completely different nature with that that filter not in. It's more of a clap sound, and I think if I'd wanted a clap sound, I'd have got a clap sample. So that's how far we get with that. Let's have a look at the next percussive sound, which I think I put in a little bit later, but let's do all the percussion at the same time. So this is a Nexus 2 patch, and it's the B Runner drums. Maybe it's something to do with Blade Runner, who knows? And I can't remember whether I edited it. I don't think you can see from the screen whether it's been edited or not, but I think that's probably pretty much as it was. So let's hear it in context with the rest of them. The rhythm section of the track is starting to sound quite nice. I have to say that there's a lot of experimentation goes on here, so I'll try one thing, another thing, another thing, another thing, another thing, until I've got something that I like. So just because I can demonstrate them very quickly here, doesn't mean that I can actually create it that quickly. But honestly, you'd get really bored listening to me try one patch after another patch, after another patch, after another patch. Well, I don't try that many, but... let's go on to the next stage and see what we've got here. So we're starting to get some more thematic elements. So looking at this, once again, we've got a U-He synth. I was going crazy on the synth demos, so I don't know where the patch is from there. No, I don't know what patch that is, but I'm not going to explore further. It sounds nice. But that isn't all there was to it, because I put some other layers to that as well, such as this. Looking at the wrong one. Let's look at the right one. Ah, there we go. So the trusty old Nexus 2 again, and the full carpet arpeggio. So but there's still more coming. So let's look at this Netherworld here. So Nexus 2 again with the Netherworld's piano patch. And yet another Nexus, which I added much later. And generally speaking, this is the order that I added the tracks in. So this was a later idea to put the shaking sun rays. That sounds like the name of a band. Maybe that should be my band, the Shaking Sun Rays. Really, there's next to nothing to that, but clearly I thought it was a good idea. And there's the notes. Very simple, but if we add them all up together, so let's add up all the thematic elements. It is quite a rich sound. Just want to look at that one again. No, I don't need to look at that one. Let's look at that one again. No, I was just wondering if I'd edited them, but I don't think I did. Generally speaking, if I edit something, the first thing I'll do is take out any excess bass that I don't want. But we'll come back to that. So what we can do now is we can listen to that section in full. A very simple tune, but it's a nice full sound, and that makes it interesting. So if we go on to the B tune, very simple structure to this. So we could start with an introduction, then we've got A, and then we've got B. For the moment, this seemed like a rich enough sound to have. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. This one. It's not that, it's Cosmic Dreamer. So once again, you can see there's an EQ here, so we can try it with and without. So there's not much difference there. I'm thinking what probably happened was that I thought there might be too much bass in that, had a little play with it, and then pretty much left it as it was, and that doesn't really make a great deal of difference. And then I didn't bother to take it out. But I'm not going to worry about that now. So let's just hear that without the Cosmic Dreamer. Oh yeah, it's going to be worth just listening to these. Okay, and this one. Okay, and then the build-up. So once again, by layering, we end up with a very rich sound. Then we come back to the A tune again. As I said, it's a simple arrangement, and I've enriched it a little bit with the Sylenth. So let's just take the Sylenth. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Take the Sylenth out. And let's put it back in. It's not a great deal of difference, but sometimes these fairly subliminal effects really can make a difference to the way that you perceive the music. As simple as that. Okay, let's listen to it again. And so we come back to the B tune again. So we've got the same as it was before, all the same, except we've got the Sylenth again. Whoosh. Okay, I'll come back to that sound later. And then we have a breakdown. So once we've heard the A tune, then the B tune, then the A tune, then the B tune, then it's time for something different. Maybe a C tune, but in this case we've just got a breakdown. So as you can see, this section here is the same as this, except it doesn't have those two segments in, but then I bring those two segments in again there. Whoosh. Can you guess what comes next? Well, it's either going to be the A tune or the B tune. So let's hear it. It's the B tune, because I think we've probably heard enough of the A tune now, because the A tune is very simple. And it'll only stand a certain number of repetitions, whereas the B tune, being much more complex, it'll stand more repetitions, as we will see as we go on. So we've got extra layers here because that was the B tune previously. So we started off, there's the B, and there's the B with the addition of the Sylenth plucks. But here we've got 2 layers of Spire. So let's have a listen to what Spire is doing in this. Aha. We can see an EQ here. Oh, let's just have a look at Spire just to... There we go. There's Spire. It's just one of the presets, and I don't believe I edited it. But I did use the EQ in it, so let's listen to it with and without the EQ. Too much bass. It had bass content, which is fine, but I didn't want the bass content in this context. It wasn't adding anything to the arrangement. And what you will find is that sometimes it doesn't make that much difference of itself. Let's just listen to the whole thing in context. So you'll find it difficult to hear the difference there. But if you've got quite a number of extra layers like that, and they've all got extra bass content that you don't want, it's going to end up with a whole load of mush in the bass. And this is a big thing that comes back again and again and again, that if you get rid of the bass content that you don't want, then you'll end up with a cleaner result. You just keep the bass content when it's actually doing something useful for your track, which in this case it wasn't. And the other one is the Spire once again with the Jupiter patch. So let's just listen to that. Nice. Okay, the EQ isn't making that much difference there, but just a precaution. Let's hear the 2 together. And the whole thing. And we're going to repeat the B section because that's all that's going to happen from now on. And we've got yet another layer in, which sounds like this. So it's the Nexus again. We don't need to look at the Nexus itself, but we do need to look at this EQ, because if I take that out, it's a small thing, but that's actually we'll look at it because it's an arpeggio program. So I'm not playing those notes. I'm just playing one note, and the Nexus is arpeggiating it. And what I found was that the higher of the 2 notes I found was a little bit too loud in comparison to the other one. So what I've done there is I've EQ'd the high note down and the low note up. And if I play it, you'll be able to see it in the background. You see, there's the low note, and there's the high note there. There. So I just felt it was just that little bit better to have it like that. Maybe not much of a difference, but it was a difference that mattered to me. And here we've got the broken square again. Okay, that's just down an octave and it's more extended notes. So I preferred it as a breakdown. And I didn't feel it needed the EQ this time. So let's listen to the whole of the breakdown. So it's not much different to this breakdown here, but it's different enough to make a difference, and that's important. Okay, when we come to here, what we've got is the B tune again, and you'll see there's no difference between that and that. And I felt that it was rich enough at this stage, and I could have decided to add yet another line to it. But in this case, I felt that it didn't need it. And that's fine. The sounds from these synths are just beautiful, and the way they add up is a very pleasant experience. And then at the end, we've got a breakdown. There's a Sylenth pluck. A little flourish on the Cosmic Dreamer here. Oh, that's worth looking at actually, because there's a filter automation going on there. I'll just solve it. There we go. So it's taking out the high frequencies more and more as it goes along. And that's the end of the track. But there is just one more component here, which is it's an audio sample, and it's a cymbal, and let's just get the right solo. So there you go. And the reverse cymbal cliche, if you like, is very useful for connecting sections together. So it's probably from the Vengeance library. And oh, it's not a cymbal. It's more of a whoosh, isn't it? Yeah. So I decided to reverse that. And also what I did was I extended it. It was a lot shorter when I started off. It was more like that. But I felt that was too short. And I could have made it longer than that, but this is the length that I chose to do the job. And if we look at it in this view, what we can see here is we've got some EQ on it. So I thought there was too much high frequency content. Too much. Well, too much for what I wanted. And we've got some reverb here. So it's not really very much without the reverb. Let's just out of curiosity, let's just hear the whole track without the effects on that. I keep calling it a cymbal, but I'll call it a cymbal. What the hell? I just didn't like it like that. It sounds a bit coarse. So with the effects on. Much nicer. And that is it. That's my roundup of my track Mira. Why is it called Mira? The answer to that is it's an instrumental track, and it's devilishly difficult to think of names for all of your instrumental tracks. So I went online and I found a website which has a random Russian name generator. So I clicked that, and that was the first name that came up, Mira. So Mira it is. And I think that just about covers it. So it just remains for me to say that I'm David Mellor, and I hope you've enjoyed listening to this. And now we'll listen to the whole track. Thank you very much.